Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twillow Talk. I'm Tanis Coughlin from the Twillow Lifestyle Community, Twillow Lifestyle Academy, and I am joined by my beautiful co-host, Jennifer Jerkowski. Hey, Jen.
Hey.
And we have an awesome guest for you today. We have Denise Frenette, and she is joining us.
Yes.
How about telling us a little bit about yourself, Denise? What do you do? Who's Denise?
Full-time, I am a psychic medium and a life coach. This is literally what I do full-time, all week long, all month long, all year long.
Yay.
I do some speaking engagements as well. And I'm loving it. It is absolutely incredible. It's not something that I've always done full-time, but I've been doing it full-time, I'm going to say now for it's almost 2 years where I've decided to just focus on this. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, welcome. We're excited to have you.
Thank you very much.
Jen, do you want to tell people what you do too?
Sure. What do I do? I am
We do stuff. Jen and I do stuff. That's what we always say. We do stuff.
Yeah. I'm a registered psychotherapist, certified Canadian counselor, intuitive life coach, energy, all the fun stuff.
That fun stuff. Just like me, I do stuff. I am an energy healer, intuitive channel, Celtic shamanic high priestess. I work with crystals and all that stuff. So we all do fun stuff with spirit. And so that's what we're here for today, is to talk about some fun stuff.
1 second, I'm going to mute.
And we have doggy stuff going on down there. Well, while we're waiting for Jen, I'm just going to say hello to a few people. So, hey, Kaylee, thanks for joining us. Good to see you. Welcome. And anyone else who's out there, please say hi. Let us know if you have any questions. We are going to pick a topic in a moment. We're going to go through our usual energy update, see where we're at, and then we'll pick a topic for us to talk about. So
on my end, the dogs went wild because we have a storm rolling in, and I think there was thunder.
Oh dear.
So just as an FYI, if I lose power, I will be back on as soon as I can.
Good to know.
So that's kind of funny because they told us today they were doing work on our internet. So it might just be the Denise show by the end of the show. Who knows?
No worries. I'll do some live readings or whatever. I'll keep people entertained.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Anyway, that's how we roll here, So
that'd be interesting. It would be.
We'll just let spirit guide the day. That seems to be what my day is today. It's all about that.
True. I mean, we're coming up on our 100th live episode, which is going to be next
Wow.
week.
Yeah.
And what is incredible is we've gone through so many technical difficulties along the way.
Some of them avoidable, some of them not.
Wow.
All of them for a reason.
Yep.
That's impressive.
So
I'm sorry. I have to Kaylee over here being super excited, loving your energy.
Yeah. So she remembers you from the holistic fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay. Very nice.
Yes.
Oh,
That's why I'm so excited.
Very cool.
I am too.
Very
I
cool.
love your energy.
I love seeing people over and over again. Like when I do my lives on my own Facebook, I do live readings and stuff once in a while, about maybe once a month or every 6 weeks. And it's beautiful. I miss them. It's
That's
so
awesome.
nice to see them again.
Yeah.
Awesome. I want to say hello to one of our others who may be somebody that one of you knows, Victoria Dory. She's coming to us.
Yep.
I think that might be from your Facebook, Denise. So welcome. She's excited to watch.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hi, Victoria. The next live is coming up. I'll have to check when. I don't have my calendar in front of me. But it's nice.
Soon. We're coming soon. We put her deets down below, so you can take a look and check her out on Facebook. And I'm sure she'll have it listed there and on website and all that stuff. So those are both down there. And yeah. So, awesome. There you go. There's a testimonial right there for you, Denise.
Which has been crazy accurate. Mwah. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Victoria. I'm glad. This is
awesome.
Why I do it, right?
Yeah.
Why I do
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
Cool.
So where the Schumann is for today.
Oh.
We are actually good today. We are in a power of 8. So not bad at all. We've got, it's fairly quiet. With the exception of this piece here, which was a couple days ago, we've had a fairly quiet Schumann resonance over the last little bit. In terms of solar flares, we have had a number of M class, as you can see down here, in the last 2 days. And we had an X class here as well. So that would have been yesterday. So we've had some stuff coming in, lots of light coming in, which is awesome, right? Those are all happening for us, not to us. And yeah, so we're excited about that. That's why you're feeling some of those crazy symptoms, though, right? When we have those solar flares coming in, we often have those kind of funny symptoms that happen, and those lovely ascension symptoms. So, and what is happening for us in our human design?
Yeah. So we are in currently transit 62, and we're going to be there until the end of the week. So this is preponderance of the small. It's about getting into the details.
Oh, that so explains my day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love details.
Well, this is it, right? So the energy that we're in right now can get us bogged down in our intellect. So if we notice that we're really getting caught up in the intellect, if we're getting caught up in, it's interesting because in the Gene Keys, we talk about the victim of language, right? And so much around our language dictates everything about how we feel and how we respond and how we show up and all of that. So recognizing the way that the mind might be interpreting something, is it becoming obsessive about it? Is it getting to a point where it's overcorrective? If it is, notice that shadow aspect, right? Because the idea of this energy really is to shift us into the gift of it, which is precision. Right? And that precision is going to come from that inner knowing. The intellect isn't, the dogs are agreeing completely. Right? We want to be able to move from this need to nitpick every little detail in order to be able to get into that part of us that can go, that right there, that's my truth. Right? And that's precision. And so the energy is an opening for us to be able to move into that. And when we get there, we move into that siddhi, that enlightened state of impeccability. At that point, there isn't anything that the mind is going to do to get us off kilter, because we're really going from that place of precision from the heart. I'm going to end it on that one for now and mute, just because they're going to go crazy for a minute.
So interesting what she was saying there, though.
Yeah, well, and confirmed by canine intelligence.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Are you getting a feel for energy right now?
I work with, obviously I work with energy, and through the years and through the time, there's a choice that I've made in regards to when I receive it and when I don't, or to what extent I receive it, depending on what it is that I'm doing, depending on who I'm with and all of that. I will say one thing for sure. 3 days ago, the energy was strong. 3 days ago was and again, I don't control it. I recognize energy, and for the most part, if I'm not too busy, I'm
Doesn't
very
that do it?
exactly. That's why what you were saying earlier, Jennifer, really resonated. And when I am busy with life, busy thinking and all of that, that's when it catches me off guard.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's when I know I'm too busy, when I'm too caught up with certain details that are no longer serving me, no longer important, and are actually throwing me off. Yeah. And so, but it's always very interesting to be aware of that.
And those Fridays are the days I call Jen. I use my call a friend. And I'm like, Jen,
What's
is this
up?
just me or is it everybody?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You're on mute, Jen, still, just so you know.
You'll hear it. They're still scratching at the door. It's the storm that's coming in, and they're having an issue. And my normally I have somebody here who can wrangle them. I'm not sure. That person seems to be missing at the moment. I don't know where he went. I don't know where Don is.
No dog wrangling for today.
Yeah, it's so interesting too as you're talking, because last week we had mentioned some of the changes that were coming, right? And we were talking about, the the Mars coming in, and it was going to be moving into the same gate that we're going to have Uranus in. And so now you think about these two energies, right? And it's really interesting because you're talking about Friday. Well, that transition happened between Friday and Saturday of last week. And so we've got this Mars energy, which can be an immature energy, right? It's our core wounding energy. And this is the energy about it's power, it's desire, but it's like, it can be assertion. It can also be aggression, right? And so we notice that kind of powerful energy, right? And then Uranus is about transition, revolution. It's about change, right? And we need change to continue to happen, but we really need to be mindful about how that change is happening and how we're moving the energy for that. And so, for so many people to have felt that shift in energy when that happened, again, it's that taking step back and going, okay, where do I want to be amidst all of this? And how do I want to move? And really bringing in that intentionality, right, about what we do and how we handle all of this energy.
While acknowledging, to me, the word acknowledging is such an important word. It is such an important word. While acknowledging what it is that we're feeling, because you can't move forward till you do that. I mean, you could try to force it. You can try to force the change. You can try to, till you acknowledge. That to me is a sign of respect for yourself, for where you're at, what you are feeling, and it's the permission to move forward once you've acknowledged. Yeah,
that's so beautiful and so important.
Yeah,
right. Definitely. We talk so often on the show about, especially when it comes to emotions, right, about validating how we're feeling. We don't have to get stuck in it, and we don't have to allow it to control everything, but we still have to validate it and allow ourselves to process it.
That's right. Because then it's actually, there's a 6-week program that I created called Because You Can. And one of the weeks called Writing on the Wall. That one, I always thought that was my favorite week. And lately it's shifted. And I realized the impact of the 3rd week called Off the Hook. And everyone at the beginning of the session, they think, oh, this is so cool. Like, because we all know what the expression means, being off the hook. But a major part of that understanding off the hook, which sets you free so that you could understand who you are, understand how to move forward and all of that, is the acknowledgement part.
Yeah.
The acknowledgement is the key that sets you free, that sets you off the hook, that allows grace, allows forgiveness, allows understanding of why there was a certain behavior, and so on and so forth. And it's the acknowledgement that's needed, whether it's, well, from yourself, not necessarily acknowledgement from others. It's your own acknowledgement. And yeah.
Well, and it's so beautiful because if and I think part of why we do, the transits and the energy right now too, is to acknowledge the collective impact, right? Because we can acknowledge too, I'm going through this, but if I'm going through this and it's aligned with maybe the way a transit is, I can also know that there's an end to this. I don't have to own this, and it's not necessarily mine. It's just making way for me to clear something or to process.
I love that. Yes.
Right. But then, we also recognize too that we're all processing this and going through this. And so we're not in it together. We're not in it alone, right? We're in it together.
We're all in it together.
Right. So we can hold space for that for one another. We cannot take it so personally when somebody else brings that energy to us, because we recognize it is what's happening in the collective, right? Like there's so many pieces of acknowledgement that come from just kind of understanding the energies that are around us.
Yeah. And that's why I've had a repeated message about community is key. Community is key because it helps us to acknowledge where we're at and what's coming through us, and is it ours or is it collective, right? If we don't have that connection to community, it's difficult for me to use that phone a friend thing and say, what's going on?
We're supposed to work as a community.
Yeah.
We're not meant at all, actually, to be on our own in any way, shape, or form. We are meant to always work as a community. And that's why some individuals have certain strengths, and others don't have that strength. And then put it all together is when things work out, is when we pull on each other's qualities and strengths, knowledges, and all of that, as a community.
It's synergistic, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just going to take a moment here and just say hello to Rachel. Hey, Rachel, good to see you. Yes, it's been a minute. That's all good. It's all good. Divine timing and all. It's all good. And Monica. Hey, Monica. How are you? I hope you're feeling better. Awesome. Did we get through the whole forecast yet?
Yeah.
Are there any other transits?
There's always so many.
Anything else you feel that we need to bring forward?
Yeah, I think for right now, that's really it. Just notice what the mind is doing, right? We talk about like the machinations of the mind and how it's trying to sometimes take over. And this has actually been a theme lately that I've noticed. And of course it's a theme because my client themes always match the transit. It's pretty incredible.
You can't make this stuff up, guys.
No. Oh, it's so interesting. I'll have a client we'll be talking about something, and they'll say, "Oh, so what are the transits right now?" And I'm like, "Well, it's this, and this." And they go, "Oh, so everything we just talked about." I'm like, "Yeah." Right. So notice, right? If the mind is jumping in and it's getting nitpicky, it's trying to be clever, it's trying to figure it all out. What is it taking away from, right? When we talk about that inner knowing, our ability to tap into intuition, to tap into our authority, right? Can we take a step back and go, okay, mind, I want to actually listen to my inner knowing right now. So you're going to need to take a step back, right? Breathe through it. And sometimes, that inner knowing is not logical. And it's not going to fit what the mind wants. And that's okay too, right? And to be okay with that and to hold space for that. And really that is a big part of this energy right now, is going, can I step into that and hold space for that? Even if the mind goes, but.
Yeah, mine does that so often. Yeah, but But what about this? But what about that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the shoulds, right?
Yeah. So, shall we do a card?
Absolutely. Hey, Tarot, your way.
Hello.
Good to see you.
We're going to do Soul Truth. And let's see what they got for us.
So as our usual modus operandi, we pick a card and then we have a chat about the topic.
So how many cards are in the deck? I'm just curious.
It should say, but it doesn't say on the
Oh,
box.
no worries. I was curious.
Yeah, it actually doesn't say on the box.
Fascinating.
Oh, there you go. Interesting.
Most of them are like 44
Of course, I have
to
to ask a one
55.
question.
Most of them.
Of course.
I can find out if we're curious.
No. I was just curious.
It's well, I'm like we started it last year, like the end of last year, and I'm sure we're going to have enough to get us through this year. So it's got to be more than 52, probably like a 64 card.
Yeah.
Deck.
Okay. Cool.
It's kind of what I'm feeling. All right. Okay. Interesting. So the card says, "Am I focused on what I am losing or gaining?"
Ooh.
It's 55.
55.
Am I focused on
Okay.
losing or what I am gaining?
Right.
I love them.
Yeah. So it says, "Are you going through some change? Are you scared to let go because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain? Endings are actually new beginnings. Today's soul action. Today, make a list of all of the things that you will gain from the change that you are going through. Feel your heart, take a breath, and deepen into trust. Amazing things are coming."
Beautiful.
I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be right down your alley there with the coaching.
I think, yeah, absolutely. Actually, that is
Yes.
something that I address all the time, because the fear of letting go, the fear of change, and that I experience personally as well as a human being, the fear of change, the fear of even of losing friends, people that we know. It's a big deal. It really is, because when you're not 100% sure what is ahead, even if you know something is no longer for you, whether you're in a relationship, whether it's a job, whatever the case may be, even if you fully recognize that it is no longer for you, it doesn't serve you in a way that is healthy, that is beautiful, that brings on beauty in your life, results. It's hard to change that when you don't know what is coming up. And it's always a question of a trust. And if you make the room for whatever it is that is to be, then it will be.
Mm-hmm.
It will be. But it takes faith. It really, and it's not always easy. It isn't always easy.
That's one of those things that's simple but not easy.
No.
Say
Right?
that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's and it's taking the leap. While still being informed. I've got a very practical side to me, so I'm all for being informed before taking the leap, right? And so, yeah, I love that card, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Very appropriate.
Yeah. What?
Yay. Hey, Twisted Sushi.
Sushi.
Welcome.
What comes up as you're talking to, going back to focused on what am I losing or gaining?
Yeah.
Where we put our focus really does determine how we feel, how we move forward, what we do or do not choose to do in our experience.
And what we attract.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it's interesting too, because on a couple occasions, even just over the last, few days, into last week, I guess, some of the kind of themes that were coming up is this ability to look at the nuances, right? So we're moving into this precision piece versus the details with the intellect. And we can look at something on a bigger picture and go, yeah, I accept this, or I understand that there is this greater plan. But if on that smaller level, with all of the day-to-day stuff, we're resisting and we're holding back and we're going, yeah, but I don't want this, or I don't want this experience, or to do this thing, right? Then that friction that's happening is going to drain us completely, right? So being able to hold space for noticing what's happening within us at any given moment, right? We might say, oh, yeah, I'm focusing on this. But then when we really kind of take it down, we go, well, actually, you know what? I am kind of ruminating on this thing, and I am really bringing this back up often, and the mind is trying to figure this out. And we notice that, okay, for all of my, I'm focusing on this, I'm going, I'm not really focusing on that.
It's true. It's when you look, you might be saying, this is it. This is what I want. This is what I'm focusing. And then sometimes when you take a step back and you look at the words that you use, okay, your actions, the non-change going on around you that you're allowing, and all of those in combination, and can be confusing in regards to, why am I not getting the results that I want? If I think I believe this is what I want, this is what's coming up, and this is what you think you really want, okay. But when you look at your behaviors, your thought patterns, and all of that, that's important to sometimes take a step back and really have a look at that, because that is what's going to reflect on the fears of what you think you're going to lose. So I'm not really going to talk about being a psychic medium too much, because I don't know, I think my family's going to think I'm weird, and I may be concerned that some of my friends are going to dump me because, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or, yes, this is what it is that I want, and I know I'm almost there. I'm going to do the change, but nothing changes in your day-to-day routine in regards to what you're doing, how you're feeling, what you're allowing in, what you're allowing out, and all of that. And there's no change in boundaries and respect and all of that. So it's a beautiful relationship, in the sense, when I mean the losing and the gaining and the understanding of that balance. It's a beautiful relationship. And you know what, Jennifer? The storm is here. Oh, wow. Just 2 seconds. I got to close this window. It is nasty. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow. And oh, wow. It's coming down really hard.
It made its way fast.
It did. And it's got some hail.
Whereabouts are you, Denise?
I'm actually in Aylmer, Gatineau, right across
Okay.
from Ottawa. And
Yep.
it literally just landed here.
So it's coming to you next. It's working its way down the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Ottawa South.
I'm North Quebec. I'm just above Val-des-Monts. Like, I'm up that way.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, yeah, from me to Aylmer, Ottawa, here it comes.
So it's like, what's happening all of a sudden? Like, woo.
Yeah. Kaylee's not far from me, so she's like,
Yeah.
should be just
15
about
minutes or so.
15
Yep.
minutes.
Now I know why the dogs were reacting. I'm like, oh, there's a little storm. Oh, no. Oh. And
One of those storms.
yeah, I was like,
And
I'm glad I'm not outside right now.
What a beautiful kind of analogy that the universe is giving us.
Yeah.
Too, because sometimes storms come into our life, and so often I've had clients go, but I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't mean you're not going to experience storms.
That's correct.
It doesn't mean you're not going to go through stuff that's going to challenge you and completely rip you down and build you back up again, because that's what we're here to do. right?
Yeah.
And so those storms are going to come, and it's not because you're not doing it right, you're not
Oh my
focusing on the
goodness.
right things, you're not
Sometimes that's why they come. It's because you
Ex-
aren't doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And storms, I don't know if you can hear that, right?
yeah.
Good.
We heard
Storms
that.
bring on growth.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no positive, beautiful change without growth.
Mm-hmm.
There's constant, you morph constantly. There's
Yeah.
constant change. And there will be storms. Without storms, there's no rain. It's not good for the plants and so on. It is part of the growth process.
Yeah.
And so, and it's one of the things that I find people are challenged with, and it bugs me. Not that they're challenged with this, but that the fact that I think there's a misconception about storms, about challenge, about when you are struggling and you're thinking, what the is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And some think, what did I do to attract this? And they say this in a negative tone. What did I do to attract this? And I love to take that around and say, yeah,
Yeah, what did you do to attract
you're
this?
awesome. Sometimes things need to be stirred. And a
Yeah.
storm is exactly what's needed sometimes for it to bring on the blossoming change
Yeah.
that is supposed to happen. And so a lot of people think that when things don't go their way, okay, that's actually my week number 5 in the program. That's actually I just had to
Absolutely.
I just had to say it. But
Of course.
when things don't go your way, it's not necessarily a reflection that you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be so hard on themselves
Mm-hmm.
when there's something difficult that is happening around them. And it's unfortunate
Mm-hmm.
because it's not necessarily a reflection of what they've done wrong. It's a reflection of the process that happens when change is upon them.
Yeah.
And it's a needed, beautiful process that allows us to learn and allows us grace and allows us to forgive and to move forward and to get excited sometimes, but not necessarily an easy process.
Right.
Yeah.
Simple, not easy. Well, it can be, but it depends on your resistance to it, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So big hello to Sarah Webster for
Oh,
joining us.
Sarah! Sorry, time out. Sarah, you're late.
Only a few minutes.
Oh, she's gonna laugh at this. Sorry, she comes onto my lives, and she works. Okay, she works really hard, and sometimes my lives are a little too early, and she arrives and she goes, "I made it! Oh my god!" And then I look, you're late. Sarah,
There you go. There's your response.
There you go.
is such a sweetheart.
Oh,
So nice to see you, Sarah. You're such an awesome individual.
Beautiful.
okay.
And then we also have Lisa.
Oh my goodness. Hello, Lisa. Nice to see you. So
Hello.
nice to see you. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
And we have Joyful Journey. And just as a heads up, my lights just flickered.
Yes.
So
I had a flicker here as well. Just so you know.
Yeah. Kaylee said it was getting dark there too, so it's it's a coming.
Yeah.
that was a couple of minutes ago too. She put that in. So definitely.
Yeah. It's a pretty.
This
easing up.
bringing it to another kind of layer too of that idea of we all go through it together. Sometimes we have that little like storm cloud over our head, but the reality is so often it is this greater thing, and it is impacting all of us, and we are all going through it together, and we can hold space for that when we recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because it's interesting. I'm going to say about 2 weeks ago, I was with a client, and she was very angry because on social media, she goes, "It's just not fair because what I'm seeing is everybody seems to be having this great summer and all of that." And she goes, "And I'm alone. I'm alone and I'm struggling." And the thing is number one, she's not alone. Okay. But she's not seeing that at that moment,
Right.
because social media is social media. Nobody, exactly. Yes. And
Yeah.
nobody is posting constantly, I'm feeling alone right now, and the whole bit. Of course not. They're showing the beautiful pictures. Just like my weekend I just had. Beautiful pictures at a golf course, beautiful, but nobody knows the 6 a.m., the phone call that I got. Nobody knows what's going on behind the scene.
Right.
They're just saying a beautiful pictures at a golf course, and
Yep.
saying, oh, this is so wonderful, not realizing the other stuff. So these are seasons. These are just seasons. Seasons always change. Some last a little longer, depending on the resistance. You had mentioned this earlier, Tennis. The resistance, okay, to change and all of that. That might make a season last a little longer for sure, of course. But these are seasons. And every single season needs to be respected, needs to be viewed for what it is, and hopefully viewed for a beautiful opportunity to learn more. And when I say learn, and again, depending on what season I'm in, trust me, I'm like, oh, great. Do I need to learn more? Like, I don't want to freaking learn more. And I just, like, give me
I'm done with learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Clear, cancel, delete. But
and so the thing is, when I get stubborn like that, because I am a human being, might be a little stubborn. My husband would maybe agree. Just once in a while, I'm learning every day.
We all are.
The thing is when you could put ego aside, misdirected ego, okay? When you could put fear, hopefully, aside, that's hard sometimes. The learning, if it's done, if you allow a bit of grace, okay, a little bit of gentleness, the learning can honestly be something so beautiful and refreshing, even if it seems to be a difficult, challenging time, even if it brings fear, the fear of loss, whether it's a loss of loved ones, okay, loss of a job, loss of income. There could still be always something that is beautiful to learn and to acknowledge. Not always easy, but there's always something there. That's when community comes in. Because when you can't see it, okay, when you can't see it, other people bring in their light, other people bring in their point of view, their perceptions, and that's what can clear the way. It is meant to be done together. Absolutely. Never, ever alone.
Yeah, for sure.
So true. You know, when you were talking, it reminded me of an equation that I heard a while ago, and it's level of perceived difficulty plus level of resistance equals level of suffering.
Oh wow! You need to like type this out, send it to me. I love that.
I'll type it in the chat.
Yes.
Right? But the perceived difficulty that we hold on something and the amount of resistance we hold, it really does determine how much we're going to suffer, right?
Yes.
If we look at something and we go, I'm never going to be able to accomplish this, and no part of me wants to have to do this, but I know I have to, and I just can't go there. It's going to be hard, and we're going to have to work through all of that emotion and release it. And there's going to be a lot of suffering in that. Right? And I go back to, having an experience where it was very much outside of my control. I had no choice. I had to deal with it. And that was just the way it was. My life was going to change, and that's just how it was going to be. And in that moment, I suffered a lot, right? because no part of me wanted the change to happen. No part of me wanted to have to go on that experience or down that journey. I did not want to have to live my life that way. And I had those deep body wailing cries of release. And then I got to that point of going, okay, I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get through this. It's going to be fine. I've got what I need. I've got my support. This isn't going to be as hard as I think it's going to be. I'm opening to it. That resistance is starting to come down. And all of a sudden, that suffering began to fade. And it's such a beautiful thing when we actually have gone through it and we see the things and we see that process for ourselves. We begin to truly understand that equation and how real it is for our experience.
It's so well said.
Yeah,
With
for
such
sure.
a calming voice.
With a calming voice.
It's true.
It is true. She does have that calming
Oh,
voice.
wow. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so exciting. Swim upstream. Yeah, go with the flow. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I love that just because sometimes when you see your goals or where you want to be in life, and let's say it's ahead, you think it is ahead of you, and you are going swimming up against the current, thinking you are
Yeah.
going towards. And I love that little comment that she mentioned, because sometimes when you feel going swimming upstream, thank you, when you feel that if the struggle is too hard, sometimes I feel, wait a minute, it's time to reevaluate the path you've decided. It doesn't mean you reevaluate where you want to end up, the end result that you want, what you want for yourself or your family, maybe just the one path. When there's too much resistance there, that's when it's good to take a step back and say, wait a minute, why is there so much resistance? Acknowledging that and having a look at that. And maybe just rerouting. That's one of the things, the analogies that I talk about sometimes with my clients, about trying to understand how your spirit guides, okay, speak to you and how they are. They're almost like a GPS. And it's like, and they're so different. Like spirit guides they're not human. They're energy, okay? It's energy. And so they don't think like us. And it's tough sometimes for us to understand that because of the way we tend to think, sometimes in a judgmental way, and the way we want to achieve and get to a place in a certain time. So it's like having a GPS, and you put your destination, and all of a sudden, oops, like you thought it was at the red light, and you turned too quickly. So the GPS didn't say, Denise, what in the world are you doing? Not again. Catch your breath. For God's sakes, it's going to take you an extra 15 minutes. Like, open your eyes, will you? No, our GPS doesn't say that. It goes, bling, in 2 seconds. Bling, bling, bling. Oh, you're just so nice. It just gives you a whole other nice, beautiful.
It's like, oh, redirecting.
Totally. And it's calm. It doesn't say, Denise, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It just allows you to sightsee a little bit more, when it just reroutes, and that's it. And that's what guides do for us.
Yeah.
Beautiful analogy. Yeah.
If we take the time just to connect and to listen a little bit. And even if when we think we're off track, sometimes we're not.
No.
Sometimes we're not. It depends, right? It depends. So technically, are we ever off track?
Nope.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not.
I know.
Our trajectory is completely ours, and it's always ours.
Well, and even using that example, there's times, and we've talked about this on the show, we've had this experience, and maybe you have too, of going a different way and getting sidetracked and ending up somewhere and going, I don't know why I'm supposed to, even be here, or why this is happening. But then recognizing that energy exchange is happening, and you go, oh, I'm doing something, I'm not even really sure what it is, but my energy is meant to be here for a purpose, so that mess up was a universal intentionality. Like, you're meant to be here, so we're going to get you here, and you're going to miss that turn, or you're going to turn too soon, or you're going to do whatever.
Absolutely. Or
Yeah.
you're meant to bump into a person that you're supposed to help.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
it's a question of having faith.
Yeah.
Even if we don't know why we missed the turn, why we ended up where we're at, sometimes it's who cares. Just have faith.
Yeah.
Just give it up, have faith, and move forward. Just keep on being. And
Mhm.
that's it. And sometimes that's the best way to just view it and say, enough. So I didn't make it to that. I missed my plane. Whatever it is, whatever it is. I
Mhm.
missed this great opportunity because I got sick. And you're thinking, why? Why now? Or someone else in the family sick and you have to go take care of your kids, right? That's
Mhm.
tough. That's tough for women. And this great opportunity could have been, but you were too busy being a mom.
Mhm.
Ouch. And those are difficult moments where you have to realize, wait a minute, we are meant to be in a certain place sometimes for very important reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more resistance we give, the angrier we get, the harder life gets. And that resistance can really, well, change people's lives.
Yeah.
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 So
There's that again.
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you. I love it. Yes. Thank you, Jennifer. I love that.
Yeah.
And Kaylee says it's why I stress less about being late, because maybe there's a reason I'm supposed to leave when I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the thing is, if it happens all the time though, then yeah, maybe there is a reason. Maybe you need to look at your schedule. Maybe you need to look at what it is that you do in the morning. Maybe you're on Facebook for too long, or whatever it is. And so, yes, it's always good to see, hey, really open up your eyes and say, what's going on around me? Is there a lot of resistance? Always arriving, let's say it is always, I know that's probably not what she meant, but I thought I'd take that as an example. Always arriving late. And you're really, wait a minute, and that causes resistance. That does. And then, so again, it's so important to sometimes just take a little step back and take a time to reevaluate things.
Mhm.
What is our surroundings? When I say our surroundings, I mean our behaviors, our feelings, how we're feeling, our behaviors, the way we react to things, all of that. That's what I mean by our surroundings, not necessarily the dogs and, the husband, but that too, though.
That too, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I
But
just want to
notice.
say hello to Leah while we have a little
Hello,
break.
hello.
Hey, Leah. Welcome.
Yeah.
Joyful journey. She says she's exactly where she's meant to be. Oops, wrong one. Where are we? We jumped. Here we
Yeah.
are.
The joys of having best chatters you guys are doing.
Absolutely.
Lighten up the chat there, which is awesome.
Leah's wondering if she can ask a general question. Sure.
Yeah.
What is your question? As we anxiously await.
Yeah.
Kaylee says she's normally a perfectionist and a 15-minute early person.
So again, it wasn't about you per se. I just thought I'd take advantage of that comment.
It's just a good example, right?
It is.
Because there are many reasons, right?
Yeah.
For sure. And they're not always as clear cut as what we think too,
No.
right?
And
Very
that's the piece too of finding balance, because we don't want to be beating ourselves up. We want to give ourselves grace, but we
Yeah.
also want to challenge ourselves and recognize where we have growth opportunities. And so it is a balancing act,
It
right?
is.
Really
Absolutely.
be able to go, what
And
is.
and I find the faster that you could have grace, the faster you can get over it. And when I say over it, I mean the fact that you are not perfect.
Mhm.
And if you screwed up and you say, oh my gosh, again, the faster you acknowledge it. And then the faster you could move on, the faster you can then focus on creating the change that is needed. Because if you are stuck in that guilt, the shame or the guilt, that's literally a place that does not allow any growth at all, actually. That's not how awareness happens. That shame and that is actually destructive to a person. And so, did you hear that, Jennifer?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that,
Oh yeah.
I know, I know, it's, yeah. But
Well, and it was just the universe going, yes, Denise,
again,
yes,
I
keep
know,
going. Yes,
I
yes.
know.
Confirmed. Go for it.
So it's important to be accountable to oneself, absolutely. And in the same breath, literally in the same breath, it's important to understand grace, love, forgiveness, because shame does not bring on positive change, ever. Shame is created by human beings, not by spirit. Okay, it's not a universal energy. Shame, it has been created by us, and it is useless. It does not bring forth change at all. It sets us back. And so it is important to be accountable with grace, with love. That's what empowers us to create the change needed. Yeah.
And no judging, like Leah says.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and that right there, what you're talking about with creating the change that's needed, going back to Leah's question, which she did post.
Oh, I didn't see it.
So as we go through this, how do we respect our shadow as women, right? And to really be able to take a step back and go, my shadow is not actually something I'm supposed to overcome. My shadow is something I'm supposed to embrace. It is a part of me, right? And if I can recognize that I have this shadow aspect within me, I can honor that. I can nurture that. And when I do that, that's when my gift comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is something that needs to be embraced, recognized, respected, because it is part of being imperfect. We are not meant to be perfect in that sense, at least not here as human beings. Because again, we work as a collective.
Yeah.
That's how we thrive.
We're perfectly imperfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
And it's interesting too, right? We talk about like shadow and what that means, and depending on the work that we do, it shows up differently. From a human design perspective, if we're looking at shadow, part of what that is looking at the not self, and we're looking at the things that we think we have to be, but that aren't really us. Right? And so those things we have to recognize and release because they're not really who we are. Right? And then there's other aspects of us that we go, yeah, you know what? I do tend to fall into this, or I do have issue with this. Like I'm thinking about, for me, again, I'm going to use human design as an example just because it's an easy one when we come to gates and things like that, because they all have very specific things. But I look at, the gate 15, which is my design sun, and the shadow aspect of that is dullness. Right. And then the gift is magnetism, and the siddhi is fluorescence. And so when I look at that, I have to respect that dullness is not something that I have to overcome. It's something that I have to embrace, because if it's something I have to overcome, the magnetism is something that I have to reach for. But if I can allow myself to sit in my dullness, in that place of going, like, and the example for me is, do I just live in this kind of mundane, or do I embrace something more? What am I supposed to do with my life? That's how it comes up as it's a sun gate, right? Like it's a big gate, right? So it kind of encompasses so much.
Yeah.
But when I'm able to actually sit there in the dullness and go, this is okay. Right? Now I can move from this place and I can come back to this place, and it's not the same energy anymore. It's not this kind of being trapped in the mud energy. It is this kind of restful energy. Okay. And from there, I can step into magnetism and I can hold space for that in my reality while I'm also in the dullness. Now, both of those things do not fight each other anymore. They actually enhance one another, right? And when we look at it from that perspective, that's embracing the shadow, right? That's what that's really about. Is it's not, I don't have to transcend any of this, right? I just have to embrace it and live it. And from that, so much is going to actually be able to blossom.
Yeah.
Rachel says, you're not dull at all. Especially with that golden nail polish.
It's gold, except for my thumb, which is purple.
Oh, there we go.
And you know what? That's not because I'm like, doing something. I didn't feel like taking the nail polish off my thumb. By the time I got there, I was like, screw it, I'll just keep that one purple.
Oh, God.
That is dullness into magnetism right there.
We're done.
There you go, Diva.
I like that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we are at that time where we pick a card, Jen.
We are.
This is like our homework that we give to everybody. It's something
I love
to step
that.
into.
Yeah, it's from the deck, Seeds of the Sacred Feminine. Okay. And so, Source can just give us kind of an activity to embrace for the week and see what that's going on for us. What do you guys want us to do? Okay. They're still deciding. Oh, that one. Aw. Take a warm bath.
Oh, that sounds perfect right now.
That falls right into what you were just talking about. The dullness.
Wash the dullness.
Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to just,
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's so beautiful too, in light of even the other question, right? What am I focusing on? What I'm losing or what I'm gaining? Water being such a healing conduit. Right? Now I can get in this water. I can release the resistance. I can release what I've been holding on to. I can even take this stuff and just let it go, right? And when it goes down the drain, it's gone, right? And have that beautiful meditative process.
Absolutely.
So that I have space now to notice what I'm gaining, to notice what's coming for me.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just going to shut the door so I can read this. Okay.
Leah says when we put a color on dullness, it enhances the quality of that color.
There you go.
Exactly. Yes.
And her thumbs are black and nails purple. Just for record.
I love it. All right. So let me just open up to take a bath. All right, here we go. Take a warm bath. So I'm just going to read to you guys from the book.
Nice.
All right, and here's the card. All right. It is time to immerse yourself in sacred feminine waters, grandchild. Let the warm waters of Mother Earth cleanse your body, thoughts, and worries. When you play in the realm of the sacred masculine for too long, your mind and body become dry, rigid, and ungrounded. Soak in the healing waters that come into your home. Saturate your body until you feel the chatter of your mind settle. Welcome the tranquility. It is worth the wait. As you absorb the warm liquid embrace, call in the sacred mother and honor her with your attention. Do not take this gift of water for granted. Not every human on their earth walk can experience this healing luxury. Honor your place in creation that allows you to receive the mother's waters at will. With loving intent, accept the healing that the sacred mother bestows and send out healing for others as well. When you are done with your bath, send a blessing and use the water to feed your plants or your garden.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Very, very nice. Yeah. It's funny because just now, as we finish having this rainfall, okay, and we were talking about storms and challenges and all of that. and look at the card that you just picked.
Yeah.
And how nourishing it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and rain is very cleansing, just like a bath.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And as you were talking about that, the bath, every morning when I shower, I get the most clarity, because this is when I talk to my guides. I talk to them all the time, but my morning shower, for whatever reason, okay, power of water, the clarity and the exchange is just, it's pure. It's unbelievable on how they share during that time. Um, and it took a while for me to realize the every day, it's just all the time. And one day it occurred to me, oh my goodness, it's in the water.
Yeah.
Every time, or if I go somewhere in the water, I would get so much clarity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your purity place.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Same there.
Thanks. Yeah.
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 Yeah. It's water can just be a beautiful conductor of energy, right? So I drew the water guardian. Oh, a card.
Awesome. Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. So you can't make this stuff up. It's,
No,
You can't.
it
can't.
all
It
just
always
comes
happens.
together.
It just happens.
yeah. No, that's
Beautiful.
incredible. It is.
Yeah.
So, Denise, do you have anything going on this week that you'd like to share with people?
What is going on with I need the calendar in front. It's hilarious. I've got so many things going on, which is awesome. I'm very grateful for all that. Even my husband or my kids, they'll say, hey, can we get together, or could we? And I'm like, oh, just give me a minute. I got to check my schedule over and over and over again. So I know I've got a live Facebook coming up.
Very good.
I think it's this week. Again, I don't have my schedule in front of me, but because it's on the computer and I'm on it.
Yes.
And so I do have that coming up this week. And I believe next week I also have a group reading in person, because I do virtual and in person. And I've got one, and I offered in my private home. And I limited to like 8, maximum 9 people. And that's coming up, not this week, but next week. And I actually have 2 spots left for that one. But that's what's coming up. And I'm working on a lot of things. This summer, there's a lot of behind the scene work going on that I'm excited about. So a lot of work that people aren't aware of that I'm doing. And it's going to be coming out soon. In September, and I hope in September, latest October. But no, it's coming out real soon. There's more than one thing coming out, but I've been doing a lot of work. I've got this amazing fundraiser. I'm in collaboration with this foundation, the Jordan Lee Foundation, and we haven't posted everything yet. Still working on the marketing and stuff like that, but it's all for mental health awareness, and that's at the end of October. That's going to be a beautiful, fun fundraiser for that. So I've got a lot of things coming up, and it's all beautiful. It's all really things that I'm very much excited about.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Very
beautiful,
cool.
Leah. Thank you.
Oh,
thank you. So if people want to find out more, or they want dates and all, is this kind of link that we've got here for you?
That's the Facebook one.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't see the intuitive coach. Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
And there's also my website as well,
which is below
my name, DeniseFrenette.com. But Facebook is a good one. I'm always posting things on what's coming up on my Facebook page. So yeah, that would actually be the really good. Awesome. And there's also, if people want to ask more questions in regards to my 6-week program or what it is that I do, who am I, on my website, they could actually click for a free 15-minute chat. It is not a free reading, okay? Just want to clarify that. It is information that is given, and they can always do that as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's about getting to know Denise. That's what discovery calls are.
Exactly. To see if we're a good fit. And
Exactly.
I do, before you close up, I want to thank you for having me. You both are, your energies, your personalities are beautiful. I love the way we met, Jennifer.
I know.
I love it. I love the way just the way you went about that, or how you let spirit go about it. And so I love the way we met. And I am sure we are going to be reconnecting. So I want to
Absolutely.
thank you for having me on your podcast. I really appreciate it.
Definitely.
It's a beautiful honor to have you here, Denise. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Forward to
Kaylee
having
says,
you on again.
exactly. It's great to meet you.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. It's lovely to meet you too.
Yeah.
Jen, do you have anything going on this week?
No. Well, yes, but no, nothing live
Okay.
other than Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
Oh,
So Sunday, we're going to do our live card reading for the month.
oh.
So if anybody wants to jump on with that, we'll be on here. So Facebook.
What time? Sorry.
8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that and then everything else will be next week.
Yeah. So I have that, and I've got open mic with Ramsey on Friday.
Oh, yay.
As well. So come and see that. We're gonna have an interesting conversation, I'm sure. And next week, guys, is our 100th.
Wow.
Live.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That is
So
absolutely incredible.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We may have some surprises that day because it's our 100th. And, we're going to celebrate because we like to celebrate.
Yeah. This is right. Let's see if I can get it to do its thing.
You're going to get it to do its
thing. Will it do it?
Will it do it?
Will it do it? Will it do it? Oh, it's decided it doesn't like reality.
She's got a Mac, and sometimes it'll do the
It does
thing.
it, and then it goes, no, Jen, when you actually want it to happen, we're not going to do it.
Oh, there we go. There's the balloons.
Oh,
big hello to Shem, too.
That is so...
That's awesome.
Yeah. So where the readings are, it's going to be live. So we'll do it live, so you can join us on Facebook and YouTube.
Either of our channels, and and it's at 8 p.m. on Sunday. Yep. Shem loves the balloons.
Any virtual cake? We could probably arrange that, although I don't have it as an option on
a virtual cake.
Virtual cake.
I love
Sarah,
that.
Sarah's asking for virtual cake.
Yeah. What we could do is we could all plan to have cake with us.
We could. Oh, there we go. Astral cake. That's what we're going to do.
Oh.
There you go.
Not quite as filling, but just as satisfying. Yes, maybe it is the future of AI. Who knows where AI is going?
Oh, golly. We don't know, but
that's another whole thing. But anyway. So we want to thank you all for joining us. Me too, Rachel. She says, now I want cake. So we've started something. Everybody's going to go and have a piece.
Sorry about Sarah. We love it.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So we want to thank everyone for joining us. It's always amazing to have the best chatters, right? Hashtag best chatters, having a blast with us here. And we're looking forward to having you on again. Denise, thank you so much. It's always an honor.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And and have you, the rest of you, just have an awesome week. And we're sending you so much love.
I love that. I got to learn how to do this here. Oh, look at that.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. So
I
we're
love
sending you lots of love, everyone.
Oh,
Take care. Have an awesome week.
mwah.